What is game design and how does it go from a simple idea to an actual game? First, it starts out as an idea. That idea is then shaped into a concept like racing, first-person shooter, etc. Concepts can be derived from others, some not. Some concepts are a follow-up of a game or a sequel of a game. The second phase then begins, or also known as pre-production. This is typically the next phase of game design. The company brings in various producers, assistant producers, designers, programmers, artists, and writers, most of which will contribute to the creation of the storylines, storyboards, a document with the other game's goals, level designs, gameplay mechanics, and overall blueprint. The blueprint of the game will include how the game is played, what each menu or screen will look like, controls for the characters, rules for winning and losing, and different maps or worlds. While the completion of the blueprint is necessary, designers and software engineers must take into consideration technical limitations the game will be played on, such as the consoles and what the recommended standards that the hardware manufacturer may require. The third phase, or known as production, begins. A large group of producers, designers, artists, and programmers are now brought in. Producers will work with the design, art, and programming teams to make sure everyone is working together and following the schedule created that must be followed. Producers also make sure that the high concept goals of the design are followed throughout the development of the game. Different sets of programmers will work on different things. One team may work on the game's library, engine, and artificial intelligence, while another team of programmers might be working on the game's 2D or 3D engine, thus creating polygons, textures, lighting, and special effects you see in the game. Post-production is the last phase. This is the point where the code is written and the art has been completed. An alpha version of the game is created and supplied to the game's test department to bang away at and find bugs and major flaws in the game that need to be fixed either by a programmer or an artist. Once the major flaws are fixed, a beta version is then released. This is where the hardcore testing is done and every single bug, regardless of how major or minor, is found and attempted to fix. At this point, this is where the company makes sure the game abides all of the standards that are determined by the manufacturer of the console. After this is complete, a final version of the game is then released, now featured at your local stores.
Virtual reality is an emerging concept that has started to take over the gaming world by storm. The earliest form of virtual reality could be considered the Wii, as it was well above its time in how it motion tracked using a controller in either the left or the right hand and using a sensor bar. Since then, it has become more prevalent and more involved. Newer installments of this technology, such as the Oculus and the PlayStation VR, have begun to enter the gaming world and change the way people make games as opposed to in the past. Developers must be able to make their games coexist with existing technologies, such as using the conventional controller, or if someone so pleases, to be able to use a virtual reality headset in their game. That way, they can experience the gaming in a whole new way. This has become a major problem in the gaming industry, as since it's a new technology, people are not sure yet how to make this technology merge with the older and existing technology that is tried and true. Aside from gaming, virtual reality has expanded its role into multiple other installments throughout society, education playing a big role. Virtual reality has started seeping its way into other areas throughout society, education being one of them. One way virtual reality has made its way into education would have to be with driving. With using the headset, a steering wheel and a gas pedal all hooked up to a monitor, someone can be driving without actually being behind the wheel. This is an easy way to teach people how to drive without actually putting them in danger if they've never been behind the wheel of a car before. I myself could have used this, as I had no prior driving experience when I first got behind the wheel of a car. This will help people become safer, as they can experience driving without actually putting anybody else at harm if they're not sure what they're doing. Virtual reality has also seeped its way into interplanetary travels, as NASA plans to, in the future, implement this into exploration of other planets, such as Mars. The way they plan on doing this is by giving someone a headset, such as the Oculus, and a controller to be able to control a robot that's located on another planet, where they're sitting safely here on Earth, yet can see everything on another planet. This could become a very important part in us inhabiting another planet, or even the moon, as we can explore the terrain and possible sources of water and or oxygen on other areas, such as the moon or Mars, without actually having to go there. Such technology could one day help us expand our range in terms of living, placing us on other planets that 10 years ago would have seemed so far-fetched, you would have been thought as crazy to think we could live on other places besides Earth.
The phrase gaming technology is often used to describe advances in graphics, things like higher screen pixel densities, shadows and lighting, and advanced rendering. And while this is true, gaming technology applies to so much more. The technological advancements behind gaming, both software and hardware, all have real-world implications. From advanced PBR techniques, which mimics the way light reflects off of real-world materials, to advancements in animation, such as these character facial animations from the upcoming game Star Citizen. Every bit of graphical improvement can be applied to many other fields, such as CGI for movies and advanced simulations for both civil and military use. Software isn't the only advancement. Hardware is steadily moving along as well, such as the NVIDIA 1080 graphics card, which had a multi-billion-dollar research fund, a comparable amount to what NASA uses to send spacecraft to other planets. And it resulted in the fastest single graphical processor card in the world, thanks in part to development of 16 nanometer GPU transistors, down from the previous record of 28 nanometers. While these advancements will allow you to run virtually any game at the highest graphical settings without issue, it can also be carried over to run high-end CAD software and models for things such as weather.